Great start.
That's a good start.
Let's go.
So at the end of last season, Melisandre was cast out from Winterfell. Do you think it was a just decision? I mean, didn't she redeem herself by resurrecting Jon Snow?
Well, that was a good thing to do, but I get it. You know, I get that I needed to back off a little bit.
Yeah, she had to give one back because she took one away. However, it was my little girl, my little adopted daughter, Shireen, and where we found it, because it was a fantastic scene, I think, that we did that confrontation, because I think the audience were waiting for the entire season for the confrontation. And
it's a shame though, because it might have been helpful for me to stay.
Oh dear, this might have been helpful. You might have been dead if Jon Snow wasn't in the room. So we've done that at the end of 6. Yeah, we've separated.
Does she still have her faith?
I think it came back a little bit after, miraculously bringing Jon Snow alive. But before that, it was completely crushed. And I think but still, I mean, she's very aware of the fact that it's not her doing the magic, that she's a vessel, like a channel. And so she'll never be the old Melisandre again. I mean, the Melisandre we've seen in season 2, I don't think, no.
Yeah, she'll never. I don't think she won't ever have the confidence in the Lord of Light, or herself knowing what the Lord of Light does, or whatever, because it's almost like, in a sense, I suppose, character-wise, that the Lord of Light is almost messing with her, isn't it?
In a weird way. Yeah.
And what about Davos then? Has he found his purpose again?
I think he has. He's not, because he's not a leader, and he's not a natural leader of men. He's a very good man to have on your team. He's a team player. He's brutally honest to the extent that it gets him in a lot of trouble. But he's, I think Jon Snow is kind of lucky to have him at the end of 6. Because Jon's very unsure of himself, doesn't want to be a king or anything like that. He wants to try and get on with his life. He's a simple man, Jon, and I mean that in the best sense. But he's had, as they say, greatness thrust upon him. So Davos would be a good man to have standing beside you, at least for a bit of advice.
And how do you think the revelation of Jon's true heritage will change Westeros?
Well, we don't know Jon's true heritage yet.
But you probably will.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe that'll come in season 7. Maybe it won't.
I'm not really asking about any spoilers, obviously, but about your opinion. How do you think it would change other people's perspective, other people's view, if they knew that Jon is not really Ned Stark's bastard son?
Well, that's the rumor. I mean, how would it? I'm not even sure how that would change things. I mean, how will it change things? If you consider where we are in the story, with the Night King and the army of the dead coming, I mean, it doesn't matter whose son he is or whatever. I mean, is he? How do you pronounce it? Is he the son of? Is he the chosen one that's come? If he hasn't shown any magical powers or anything like that. In fact, he died and had to be brought back by Melisandre. So
maybe that was to bring us on a different track.
A red herring, as they say.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, possibly, but I mean, the immediate danger is completely pragmatic and practical. Something's got to be done about this army that's coming. That's going to, will wipe us all out if we don't do something about it. And I think that's where we find ourselves at the start of season 7. And we've got to see where that goes. And you could see in the last teaser that was shown with Cersei, Daenerys and Jon walking in their respective places of abode, that may be an indication right there of perhaps where the story might go.
So knowing what you know, what advice would you give to Jon Snow?
Stay at home. Don't go outside the door. Jon is wonderful. He's taking his responsibilities very seriously, and the people that he's in charge of, he really wants their well-being. He's a leader with a heart and a soul. Yeah.